Here's the letter, May 4, 2018, about a year and a half ago, by Little Dick Durbin, by I'll Have Another Drink, Leahy, and by Robert, that was a close one, I almost went to jail, Menendez. Dear Mr. Prosecutor General, that's the guy in Ukraine, we're writing to express great concern. Now, I want you to listen to their language versus what the president said and how he spoke. Great concern about reports that your office has taken steps to impede cooperation with the investigation of United States Special Counsel Robert Mueller. Why are they writing this guy? Why are they writing him? They're putting the arm on him. Like the mob. They're pressing him into action. As strong advocates for a robust and close relationship with Ukraine, in other words, you better buckle. We believe that our cooperation should extend to such legal matters, regardless of politics, of course. Ours is a relationship built on a foundation of respect for the rule of law and accountable democratic institutions. In 4 short years, Ukraine has made significant progress in building these institutions, despite ongoing years, military, economic, and political pressure from Moscow. We have supported the capacity-building process and are disappointed that some in Kiev appear to have cast aside these principles in order to avoid the ire of President Trump. 3 United States senators pressing the General Prosecutor in Ukraine to assist Robert Mueller to take out the President of the United States. These reports are true. We strongly encourage you to reverse course and halt any efforts to impede cooperation with this important investigation. In other words, get with the program and get Trump. Now, understand, there's a criminal investigation taking place with the special counsel. And you have 3 Democrats in the Senate interfering in that investigation. There's not even an ongoing investigation when Trump is speaking. 3 Democrat senators interfering in the investigation and insisting that the Ukraine assist that investigation. Incredible. On May 2nd, they write, the New York Times reported, your office effectively froze investigations into 4 open cases in Ukraine in April, thereby eliminating scope for cooperation with the Mueller probe into related issues. The article notes that your office considered these cases as too politically sensitive and potentially jeopardizing U.S. financial and military aid to Ukraine. The article indicates specifically that your office prohibited Special Prosecutor Zahaya Abadabadaba from issuing subpoenas for evidence or interviewing witnesses in 4 open cases in Ukraine relating to consulting work performed by Paul Manafort for former Ukrainian president, the Russian stooge, Yanukovych, and his political party. Now listen to the specifics and the extent to which these 3 senators are putting their muscle on here. Look at this. They go on, this investigation not only has implications for the Mueller probe, but also speaks to critically important investigations into the corrupt practices of the prior administration, which stole millions of dollars from the people of Ukraine. Blocking cooperation with the Mueller probe potentially cuts off a significant opportunity for Ukrainian law enforcement to conduct a more thorough inquiry into possible crimes committed during that era. So you have Biden, who's demanding that the former general prosecutor stop prosecuting and investigating. Now you have these 3 Democrats pressing the newer general prosecutor to go after Trump. And the Democrats and the media are attacking Trump today. Let's go on. Blocking cooperation with the Mueller probe potentially cuts off a significant opportunity for Ukrainian law enforcement to conduct a more thorough inquiry. This reported refusal to cooperate with the Mueller probe also sends a worrying signal. They go on to the Ukrainian people as well as the international community about your government's commitment more broadly to support justice and the rule of law. Now listen to this. We respectfully request that you reply to this letter answering the following questions. Number one, has your office taken any steps to restrict cooperation with the investigation by Special Counsel Robert Mueller? If so, why? Can you imagine if Donald Trump conducted his discussion with the president of Ukraine the way these three Democrats in the Senate conducted themselves with the General Prosecutor in Ukraine? Number two, did any individual from the Trump administration or anyone acting on its behalf encourage Ukrainian government or law enforcement officials not to cooperate with the investigation by Special Counsel Robert Mueller? So these politicians go over the top of the Mueller investigation, reach into the Ukraine, and make demands, make accusations, and insist and threaten, essentially, the Ukrainian government to get Trump. And if you don't get Trump, we want to know who put the foot on the brake. Number three, was the Mueller probe raised in any way during discussions between your government and U.S. officials, including around the meeting of President Trump and Poroshenko in New York in 2017? First of all, who writes a letter like this to a foreign government? Who do these three senators think they are? But look how they're putting the muscle, the shoulder, into the General Prosecutor in Ukraine, interfering in a criminal investigation, a hoax, a fraud, but nonetheless, for the purpose of trying to take out the President of the United States. These three men should be expelled from the United States Congress. We never use that word, expelled. Robert Menendez, little Dick Durbin, Patrick, I'll have another drink, Leahy. These men should be expelled from the United States Senate. Have you heard this letter addressed, other than in general terms, other than Mark Thiesum's column, have you seen this letter addressed on any cable show in any specific way, with any graphics, the way they're doing with the transcript of the conversation that Trump had with the president of Ukraine? You haven't seen it anywhere. Have you heard or seen, I should say, the video of Joe Biden's obstruction of justice in Ukraine and his blackmailing the Ukrainian government with our tax dollars? Have you seen that played many times on CNN? No. Have you seen it played many times on MSNBC? No. NBC, ABC, CBS? Not much. As we said the other day, pretend Hunter Biden is Don Jr. or Jared Kushner. Pretend the person on the phone wasn't the vice president, but was our president. Pretend our president was at an event where he was bragging about having the prosecutor fired within 6 hours. Or he would withhold $1 billion in aid. Blackmail. They are accusing the President of the United States, effectively, of doing exactly what Joe Biden did. But the President didn't do it. Joe Biden did it. But they talk about impeaching the President while they back Joe Biden for President of the United States. This is the Marxist, tyrannical mindset of the modern-day Democrat Party. These are the fascistic tactics of the current Speaker of the House. They are led around, literally, by a recent bartender who managed to get 17,000 votes to win a Democrat primary. And now the whole world is supposed to circle around her. But it's even worse.